financial literacy.
Let's talk about it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Give it up for Angie, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank y'all so much for coming out. It's a beautiful time to be here. It's beautiful to see everybody in the stands. But one of the most important things that I feel like our community lacks in, and we have to do better, right? And I'm here to give you a small piece of what's possible for you and what some things you need to be thinking about. If you are a business owner or an entrepreneur, and if you aren't, when you leave here, you need to become one. The reason why is because when you have a business and you register it and you have an LLC, right? When it is in business for 2 years, if you are an African American, brown, skin colored person, there are programs out there that are built for you. For when your LLC hits 2 years, they're going to give you a minimum of $50,000. A minimum, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rodney. I've built dealerships across the United States since I was 18 years old, selling cars, moving up the ranks to be a finance manager, finance director for the largest company in the United States, right? I've trained salespeople across the United States, finance managers across the United States. I've trained people that come from the very, very bottom. I come from North City, St. Louis, born and raised. My mother has 6 kids. I'm the oldest boy. My father died when I was 4 from leukemia at 24 years old. So you know the pain and the struggles that I've been through. Some of us in this room have been through these same struggles, and some have worse. But that doesn't mean that that's going to stop you from getting where you're going. And the only way you can do that is you have business funding. So I help individuals and business owners get access to $100,000 to $150,000 in business funding. But here's a few things. Your credit has to be right. You have to be a 680 or better. No collections, no derogatory remarks, right? You can't have more than 3 inquiries on your profile, right? And we can go run bank plays to get you the bag. If you are a rapper, singer in this room right now, raise your hand if you've ever paid for studio time. Raise your hand if you have to pay for an expensive ass video guy like my guy right here. Okay? He's been with me for 10 years. 10 years he's been with me. Right? Miss Angie been following me for 10 years, since 2011, so a little bit over 10 years. Right? I've done music. I've done everything, but you need money. So if you're spending the money out of your own pocket for your studio time, you are missing out on points and rewards. Right? We fly the country for free from American Express because I spend my money with American Express. So let me give you an instance. Let's say, for instance, you need studio time. You can swipe the credit card with American Express. American Express is going to give you 4 times the points, meaning that when it's time to go spend or pay the bill, you can use your points to pay the bill. Let me give you that again. Some of that went over your head. Let's say this. So you go to the studio, you're going to record this banger song that we're going to give to the DJs, right? The DJ want this song. And it's got to be mixed mastered. You got to spend a bag on it. You got a video and everything coming, right? Ready. You got to spend $500 on the studio. Okay, cool. You're going to go to the studio. You're going to give them your American Express Gold Card. That Gold Card is going to give you 4 times the points of whatever you spend. Meaning that now that you got 4 times the points, those points are going to equate to something. It's going to equate to probably $250. You can turn around in 30 days and spend that same points that you spent on the studio. Now you're doing it for free. Sometimes they give you 5 times the points. So when you're traveling like these DJs, you're traveling like Miss Angie, you're traveling like Prince Kiki, and they recording a hot song. Well, you got to pay for travel, right? What if you fly for free? Because you know the game. So we got to educate you first and foremost on make sure your credit is right. If it ain't, we got the consumer laws to be able to fight for you. Consumer law states that if you have any inaccuracy on your credit profile, meaning your profile has to be 100% accurate to what you say it's supposed to be, not the creditors. I'm going to say it again. I know that went over your head. So it's 100% accurate on whatever you say it's supposed to be, not the creditor. So if you say it was fraudulent, guess what it was? If you say, I didn't do it, guess what you do? You didn't do it. If you say that inquiry doesn't belong to me and show me my signature because it was applied for online and they can't prove it, guess what they got to do? They got to remove it. Guess what I do? I'm the one in the background fighting for you. You need somebody to fight for you in this space. Because the laws are very, very vague. And if you're not paying attention, trust me, you got a fucked off credit score. Let's just be real. And if you got bad credit, don't just live with that. We can fix it. There are ways around it if it's not 100% accurate. Meaning that if you have a medical bill, anybody ever had a medical bill before? Okay. Do you know that that medical bill shouldn't be on your credit profile? That is against the law. Let's talk about a bankruptcy. And don't raise your hand to this one if you file bankruptcy. It's okay. It's all right. But if you did file a bankruptcy, that is against the law to be on your credit profile. Meaning that they leaked personal information about you. And that was a private sanction that you were in with whoever it was that you filed bankruptcy with. So if there's a bankruptcy on your credit and it's holding you down, we can get that removed. Because when we go to the bank and we ask them for $100,000, they're not going to give it to you if they see that bankruptcy. You don't have to live with that. If you got collections and I ask the bank for $100K, they're not going to give it to you because of the things that you have that we need to get off. Right? With great credit, you can buy a $250,000 house and give them $13,000 down. 3.5%. You can FHA, Fannie Mae. With great credit, you can have $100,000 to fund your music career. Who would it help if you had $100,000 extra today? Raise your hand if that would help you. Raise your hand if I told you if you had a 680 credit score, no collection, no derogatory remarks, no more than 3 inquiries, and if you had any of those things, that I could get it off for you, and within 72 hours, I could get you $150,000. But why is it that we're in a room full of entrepreneurs and business owners, and this may be new news to you? This shouldn't be new news to you. So now that you all have seen that you have been robbed of information that you should have been had, now you're going to be able to get it. You'll have access to me. And access to me will give you access and the keys to financial freedom. Now mind you, to fix your credit is not an overnight thing if you have bad credit. It took you a lifetime to mess it up, right? It's going to take me a little bit to fix it. Right? And if you already have good credit, meaning you really need to be talking, because the money coming in the mail on a little bitty card is plastic. And it spin better than your own money. It spin way better. Trust me, it go further. My shit long. You get what I mean? So I don't want to stand up here and take too much time, but one thing I do want to say, if you are going to be in business for real. Just because you don't have a business that makes you money today doesn't mean you don't set up the LLC and EIN today. You need 2 years, remember what I said? But if you don't have 2 years, guess what we can still do? Get you 150K in 72 hours. My name is Rodney McGuire. If you need me, I'll be here. Thank y'all so much for coming. Round of applause for Angela Richardson, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so we're going to keep it moving right along. Don't forget to get that information, okay? So